Hi there, thank you so much for joining us here at the Age Strong Project. I thought I'd kick off this YouTube channel series with a little coffee talk on what is aging, how can we redefine it, what is the Age Strong Project, who's it for, maybe a little bit about myself so you know who you're listening to, and how you can engage with us if you're interested. So yeah, let's do this. Let's start with aging. I think it's such a interesting topic of conversation. Aging is growing old, and what is growing old? It's very different to a lot of people. And what I've noticed is that most people relate aging to more negative feelings, negative things such as maybe frailty, weakness, and well, I mean, we can't really blame any of us because the TV, the movies, the media tends to portray all of those things when you see an older character on TV. It's very rare that we see older, stronger, empowered characters because, well, I don't know. It's a good question. So if that tends to be what most people think of, it makes total sense that it's something that we might not really want to think about. There's a lot of fear behind it, trying to avoid all of those things. And I guess what got me really interested starts back into when I was 16 years old, and I was looking to get a lot of good stuff on my college applications, and so I was volunteering. I was a senior in high school, and I volunteered for the Senior Olympic Games, and it was at Walt Disney World at the time. I grew up in Orlando, and I remember volunteering for 80-year-olds playing volleyball, and I was playing volleyball. I played a high school varsity volleyball athlete, and I just remember being, what? Like, this is amazing. This is possible. How did I not know about this? And it just is what basically just transformed how I looked at aging. And so now, fast forward, I get into college and I have to pick a major. And I was a little all over the place, but I was really interested in psychology. And I remember volunteering when I was 16 for the Senior Olympics. And so I minored in gerontology, which is the study of aging, because I'm like, I want to know what I need to do to be able to still be playing volleyball in my 80s. So I decided to keep going into grad school, and I go for exercise and sports science because this was the seed that was planted. And while I'm in grad school, I had an assistantship at a YMCA where they asked if I would be interested in personal training. And I was like, oh, like that sounds interesting, sure. So I did, and I ended up falling in love with it. And 20 years later, I have my own business called Moxie Fitness with this dream of starting a movement. And that's where we bring in the Age Strong Project. So the mission of the Age Strong Project is to empower people with information to understand how our body ages, what's happening, and what we can do to be able to mitigate those things and stay empowered, stay strong through the rest of our lives. I've been training clients that are well into their 80s, and I have learned so much from them. I've learned what we can start to do now as early as our 30s and 40s that will not only help us be stronger, be more mobile, more injury resistant now, but also 20, 30, 40 years from now. Aging doesn't have to be something we fear. It can be something that we look forward to. It can be an adventure. It can be an exciting time. And I see it all the time with my current clients, with my Facebook algorithms that constantly has feeds of people well into their 70s, 80s, and 90s experiencing life to the fullest. That is what's possible with aging. It is. And I'm excited to bring this information to the world in a way that maybe people haven't heard before. What makes the Age Strong Project unique is that it is a movement to get people as early as their 30s and 40s to be paying attention on what you can do now to make you strong, mobile, and injury resistant later in life. So it's not about waiting till you're older to start thinking about these things. It's what can we do now that's going to make things a whole heck of a lot easier. So I'd like to talk briefly about our 5 key pillars of the Age Strong project. And the first one being alignment. It is basically the foundation of our movement. If we can optimize our posture, it's going to make gaining muscle, keeping our mobility, it's going to make being more injury resistant way more possible. Next, we have breath work, which is so fascinating, and I just don't hear this being talked about enough. There are so many different kinds of breath work, just like there's so many different kinds of food that have different focuses in mind. And one of the breath work techniques that we use in the Age Strong project is called 3-dimensional breathing. You get the diaphragm moving. It is a nose breathing method, and it helps with posture, performance, recovery, mobility. Really dive deep into that. Third, we have movement. We believe in training in all planes of motion to access the most strength and mobility possible. Our 4th key pillar is strength. If we are aligned better, if we are utilizing our breath work and movement, then we have so much more access to maintaining strength, and that's a very vital, important piece into maintaining independence as we age. And lastly, we have connection. And this is one of the key pillars in the Age Strong project, because if we can stay active, then we can stay connected with our friends, our family, our teammates, ourselves, our mind, our body, nature. It builds communities. It helps keep us from isolation, because really, as human beings, we need people. If you are interested in hearing more about the Age Strong project and would like to know where you can engage with us, first, please subscribe this channel, and I will be putting out weekly content talking about mobility, strength, sharing inspirational stories to help you age strong. Second, please follow us on social media. We have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and again, I will be putting out weekly content as well. Also, if you are really interested in taking some action steps, well, I am offering a free challenge called the Age Strong Kickstart, which is 5 30-minute sessions with me, where we'll talk about just any loopholes in your current program and get you started with the mindset and a system to age strong going forward. And lastly, if you know that mobility is one of the areas that you just struggle with, maybe you're already playing sports and you already have a workout routine, but that's not your strength, well, we have a 28-day mobility challenge that you just sign up for, and you will get that day a guide of getting started, how to set up, and every day for 28 days you will get daily emails, tips, and a follow-along sequence that not only will help you mobilize your tight areas, but it will also help activate your weak and underutilized ones. So it is a fantastic program for maybe someone who's already active and experiencing stiffness, tightness, nagging injuries, or this is great for someone who maybe isn't active at the moment, but looking to get started in a way that's gonna get your body safely prepped and ready to go. So I will include the links below. Thank you again so much for joining. I look forward to connecting with and age strong together. Thanks.